What's up guys, my name's Dean and this is HTube. Today we're going to be getting into navigation. Which one's better, Google Maps or Here We Go? We can forgive you for not knowing who Here We Go is, but they've actually been around since 2006 and recently they've been bought over by BMW, Audi and Daimler, the guys behind Mercedes. So how do these two navigation apps compare? Both these apps are available cross-platform through Apple's App Store, Google's Play Store or Huawei's AppGallery. Today we're going to be showing you on the Huawei P40 series. When you first open these apps, you get a very similar layout. So at the top you have a search bar which you can put in a standard 7-digit UK postcode, and it also shows you your recent searches. Just below that you have your map with your current location, and this is quite cool because you can press and hold anywhere and it will show you the information for that point, and then you can either share it, save it or directly navigate to it. Now Here We Go offers the same functionality, but when you press and hold it, it gives you this cool animation with the same options. They are also color coded. If you carry on zooming on Here We Go's maps, you start to see the house numbers, which is good for delivery drivers or taxi drivers, or if you work out late at night like with carers and you need to see where the individual house numbers are. At the bottom of Google Maps you have local information. This covers things like your restaurants, hotels and other iconic places. On Here We Go you also have a swipe up menu which has things that are related to public transport. So it shows you your local buses as well as the next 3 buses for each route, and it's updated in real time. Both apps allow you to add traffic and satellite layers to your maps, but Google Street View is obviously only on Google Maps. When you run a search on either of the apps, you get a map of the location and then you press directions just below. Comparatively, you can see on Here We Go, it shows you all the different modes of transport, so you can quickly assess which is the quickest and choose whether you want to take the car or a taxi or public transport. Now here on Google Maps you can see that there's a similar sort of setup, but it's hidden away at the top. So actually I prefer the Here We Go implementation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a quick little drive and we're going to see what these interfaces look like, what these apps look like side by side, and give you a real world example of what you'll be seeing when you use these apps. Let's get into it. In terms of user interface, both of these apps are clear, concise and easy to read. Google Maps displays most road names while driving along, whereas Here We Go focuses on the route at hand and tries to eliminate any unnecessary information, which leads to a simpler display. But this is a matter of taste. As I'm more techie, I like to have all of the information at hand and choose what I want to kind of focus on, whereas someone that wants a no hassle navigation system would probably prefer the Here We Go layout. The key driving stats are at the bottom of the screen on both of these apps, but you can see that Google Maps has chosen to put some of the information actually onto the map. So you can see the speed limit is at the bottom left hand side, as well as the current road name. Now Here We Go adopts a more logical layout in that it keeps everything at the bottom, so your eyes know where to go for the information you're looking for. So whether it's the driving stats, the map or the direction obviously being at the top, the next direction. So I think that it's a lot more organized in comparison. If you want to get an indication of what your next steps are going to be along the route, you can press on this and you'll get a quick little summary, whereas on Here We Go you get the complete list, which I think is just a little bit more of a logical layout if you are going to be pressing on that. Both of these apps also give you an indication of your speed as well as the speed limit on the road. Now Here We Go focuses on a red box when you go over the speed limit, whereas Google Maps changes the font from black to a orangey, then to a red font color. You can adjust this on Here We Go Maps and go into speed alerts, and you can choose where the speed limit kicks in under 50 miles an hour and also over 50 miles an hour, which is quite nice in terms of the customization available to you. A feature that's exclusive to Google Maps is the ability to search en route. So if you are making that pit stop for your kids with McDonald's, or you need to get to a petrol station because you've forgotten to fill up that morning, you can click on the search button just up the top here, and then you have a couple of presets just at the top. So you can see gas stations, restaurants, etc. So if I click on gas station or petrol station, it will show me all the petrol stations on the route, and then it will also show me how long each of those will take in terms of a detour. If I click on one, it will show me how long it will take as well as the detour added. Click on add stop and then it will redirect you there. HereWego unfortunately does not have that option, so you would have to pull over and then redirect yourself. Google also supports voice activated controls, so you can say, okay Google, navigate to McDonald's, and then it searches for all the results for McDonald's in your local area, which is quite cool. If you're after lane assist, Google Maps is really the way to go. Here you can see that it gives you clear indication of which lane you should be in to follow your journey, whereas HereWego does a similar sort of thing, but it shows that by giving you indications with the type of arrow. So here you can see it saying stay to the left and come off. Both Google Maps and HereWego have an alternate route function. With Google Maps, you press on this button here and it visually pops up with the different route that you can navigate around, and then just tap to go onto that route. On HereWego, you have to swipe up, click on routes, and then it will find an alternate route for you here, but you can't tap on that, so it's not as user friendly. But if you just swipe across, it will highlight the route that it's requesting you for to take, and then you can click on start to continue along that route. When approaching a roundabout, I've always been given directions according to which exit to take. So here you can see, HereWego chooses a very traditional approach, and for some people that's going to be a lot better. It shows you in the roundabout which exit to take, so you can count it along as you go around, whereas Google Maps gives you a general indication of where you should be, and sometimes I definitely do struggle with those directions from Google Maps. Google does really well with its community-based adding a report to kind of give you more up-to-date traffic information. So you can click on that and tell Google when there is a crash or if there's a speed trap.
Exit the roundabout onto North Circular Road. At the roundabout, take the 4th exit.
Okay guys, so HereWego's killer feature is the ability to download offline maps. Now Google does have a similar sort of feature, but when you click in, you very quickly see its limitations. The maximum space it allows you to do will not cover entire country, whereas on HereWego you can see you have access to all the different continents, and this is completely free. You click into Europe, you've got all the different countries, or you can download the entire continent, which is amazing for travel abroad or even domestically. And this is a massive benefit for people that don't want to spend hideous amounts of money on their data plans to be able to navigate around, or you drive in remote areas where the reception isn't that good. So I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed filming it. Just before we get into the conclusion, I'd like to take a quick second to ask you to smash this like button and also hit the subscribe button, because this channel's all about you guys. So if you hit that subscribe button, it will give you the notification when we have our latest video. So I appreciate you if you do that. Right, let's get into the conclusion. All in all, both of these apps are solid for navigation. They both have the core features that you've come to expect from your satnav, with things like generic searches, points of interest, traffic updates, and much more. Now Google's got some out-of-the-box thinking with some of its features, like the community-driven traffic updates, but you do need to have a constant or a reasonably good connection at all times to benefit from these features. HereWego, on the other hand, gives you a simply laid out mapping software with that massive advantage of being able to download maps globally straight onto your smartphone for free. And you can put it in a completely offline mode to use it as you would with your satnav with no data. Now what do you think, guys? What feature do you think that you like the most? What feature would you like to see? Leave your comments down below. And once again guys, thanks for watching. Peace. Okay guys, so we're going to be doing a drive. Whoa! Let's see what that looks like. It might look a bit crazy. What both the apps look like when we're going for a little drive. What do you think? You know you love it. Come on.